Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for joining on the Facebook Live. And I'm sure you are keeping yourself safe in the very odd and very uncertain time of corona infection, and that's a COVID infection. And I'm sure we are looking forward to little more number of patients, but if we take care of ourselves and our family, our seniors and our youngsters and our friends and our colleagues, I'm sure and I feel very confident that we should be able to get over this crisis without getting any damages done. I'm sure the government also is making an effort to have the enough medical facilities available in case somebody develops the problem, but at the same time, we should try to avoid. And we are very eagerly looking forward to first some medication, something which can destroy the virus and which should be so-called cure to the disease. But at the same time, as we want to discuss today, I think many of us, including the whole world, is looking at what is very important event in this COVID infection, and that is the vaccination. We all know that vaccination, since its origin about smallpox and other infectious diseases, has been one single factor which can possibly prevent very effectively the infection and also the transmission of the infection, which is the crucial factor for the morbidity as well as the mortality. So far, I would say that comparing all the indications, whatever we are getting, and we are becoming wiser every day. We see, we learn, we update our knowledge. But today's chat, I have thought that I will be talking about something which is, of course, my observation also, the wait for the vaccination. While we are waiting for the vaccination, I strongly feel that we already have got a temporary vaccination with us, which possibly we are not aware of, or if we are aware of it, we are not using it well. And that temporary vaccination, according to my understanding, and I'm sure as we discuss, you will also agree with me, is the face mask, the social distancing, and hand hygiene. And just start thinking about it, that this is the temporary vaccination which we already have. Some of us, we are using it effectively. Some of us are not at all using it effectively. And I have maintained that corona is a highly infectious disease, and only the person who has got a superpower can escape this infection. Because in a medical profession, we see how problems arise, and we see that those problems arise because we start thinking ourselves to be mighty, to have a lot of immunity, to have a lot of strength, to make sure that this infection doesn't occur to us. And that is, I think, the biggest fallacy and misconcept many of us will have. And my aim is to tell you that what is a good, let's talk these 3 points. So what is a good mask? The good mask for everybody is the 3-ply surgical mask. If you are not coming across the COVID patients, and if you are not a medical professional who is dealing with the COVID patients, day in and day out, probably you should not be needing N95 masks. After saying that, you also should know that most of the people who are using N95 masks are the masks which are basically to prevent pollution. And what does it mean? That we have got a filter there which filters the particles which from entering into your respiratory system. And those filters are there on one side of the mask. And we buy those masks. They are expensive masks as compared to the normal surgical mask. And the most unfortunate and undesirable thing is that we continue using those masks day in and day out. And according to my understanding, we are using it as just a symbolic presence of masks on our face, maybe to not be bothered by the police or not to be bothered by the persons you are meeting. But according to me, those N95 masks, after some times, they become ineffective. And also we must understand there are two surfaces, the external surface and the internal surface. Those are the dangerous surfaces which should not be touched, because if there is a virus from surrounding, that will be sticking to the front surface of your mask, and if somebody is suffering themselves and wearing the mask, the inner surface will be having that contamination. So if you really look at, the outer surface is also contaminated and inner surface is also contaminated. And also the small, what we can call it, a respirator or whatever, it gets clogged over a period of time. So though it may say that these masks can be used again and again, another point which I have observed practically is that the elastic which you are using, they get loose and the mask starts falling with its weight below the nose, and then it becomes ineffective. There are three major surfaces from where the virus can enter us: mouth, nose and ear. So if you have got glasses, your nose and mouth has to be sort of protected. And though N95 is technically a better mask, for general use, what I have seen is the disposable surgical mask is, over a period of time we have learned, is giving us the best result. Now, I am also very in favor of the so-called homemade 3-layered cloth masks which you might have stitched or you might have purchased. Those are also extremely good, very effective protection for this viral infection. But there is a clause in that, and that is that you should be using and cleaning those masks every now and then. Maybe every 6 to 8 hours, you should be washing those homemade cloth 3-layered masks, which you may or may not be doing. And let me let you know also that not many people are really washing those masks as it is advocated. I mean, it's like a hanky. You bring the mask, you just hang the mask. Next day you pick up the same mask which has got a contaminated front surface and the back surface, and you handle it and you put it again in your mouth. So you are putting the contaminated masks, though symbolically and internally you feel that you are protected, but unfortunately you are not protected. And then once in a while you wash them, you pick up the masks by the front. All the masks should be handled by the string, by the side, not the front or not the back. And if you take out your mask, then you first, before you put in a mask, you must sanitize your hand by either washing with soap and water or by the sanitizer. And when you put on the mask, then again you have to sanitize your hand. As a rule, before putting on the mask and after removing the mask, you must sanitize. And practically what I've seen that those surgical masks which are commercially now available, plenty of them, they are not very expensive. Only it is the mindset which we have to see that you use those masks, it may cost you couple of rupees and you throw the mask and you don't have to bother about washing it. And that mask should be freely available at home. Another point is that you should have number of stations where your hand sanitizers are available, even at the entrance, in the various rooms, in your kitchen, your maybe dining area, and on your terrace. So there should be plenty of those sanitizers which should be available. That means that you need not be going from one place to another place to use the sanitizer whenever it is needed. Third thing are the surfaces which are dangerous. So your table surface, your kitchen surfaces, your platforms where you are keeping your things, those are the surfaces which contain virus. So which needs to be off and on cleaned. You should not be wearing any watches or bangles as far as possible. And if you are wearing the full sleeves, please turn them up because that helps in a good sanitization. Hand should be sanitized quite high up from the hand because the like you may touch the areas here, and those are the factors which are responsible. And some of the failures which we are observing in our society, in the hospital, what we are seeing are these failures of the vaccination which already exists. So I would like to conclude here that to my mind, we already have a temporary vaccination in terms of masks, in terms of hand sanitization, and in terms of social distancing. And we will get definite vaccination maybe by end of the year or maybe first quarter of the next year. But till that time, I sincerely request and I believe and I would insist that please use the temporary vaccination which all of us have got, and please consider these three things as your vaccination for today while we are waiting for the vaccination of tomorrow. So instead of we have to cross over this period of couple of months before the true vaccination comes. We have to make sure that during this, no one of us is damaged, no one of us gets infection. And of course, we have to protect our youngsters as well as the seniors by these methods, not showing your love and affection by going very close to them without wearing a mask. So I would request that please use the temporary vaccination which is available to all of us while we are waiting for the so-called true vaccination of future. And thank you very much once again for being with us. And I will try to speak to you, discuss with you some of the things which comes to my mind, maybe some observations which I made on the road, in the hospital, on the various families and the friends. And I thought that I should bring this to surface and also update you about the way it should be properly used and followed. And have a good health, prevent yourself, protect yourself, and use the mask properly, have a good hand hygiene, and maintain the social distance. Thank you very much.
So we have some questions.
Yeah.
Mr. Kishore Dhingra is asking, does zinc and vitamin C supplements help decreasing the chance of infection? And also hot water and steam also help in prevention?
Well, I think the bottom line is to increase your immunity to prevent infection. Immunity needs high protein, good diet. Don't miss the this thing. Have vitamin C tablet. once or twice in the day, and zinc. These are the known zinc tablet or zinc supplements. These are the things which are, and a regular exercise. Regular exercise, whatever short period, long period, is doesn't matter. Regular exercises and good proper sleep. These are the things which will increase your immunity, and of course it will reduce the chances of your getting infection by this highly infectious coronavirus.
Aparna Sinha is asking, what are your views about masks that come with vents?
Well, I think unfortunately, I think I am not very strong follower of the masks which have got fancy ventilating system which is available. Those are purely masks which are used for preventing the pollution, where when you inhale through those things, the pollution particles get blocked by that small device, and while you are exhaling, you exhale your own uh, uh, air breathing outside. So you are infecting. So if you have got a virus inside, you will be bringing out that virus outside with those ventilated masks. Yes, they are more comfortable to wear. Yes, you feel more, like more comfortable because of that. But those vents become clogged very soon. At the same time, you might be distributing the virus and spreading the virus to your friends, colleagues, and families, because it is the one way, and those things get clogged. You may not be washing them well. Those are expensive, so you will not be throwing them. But so those are the reason why I'm not in favor of those small masks with vents.
Inderjeet Salwan is asking, should we come for OPD as he has to travel from Meerut, or do it with Dr. Kular via email?
Well, I think as far as possible, avoid any gathering. Traveling is not really a big problem because you are in your car, you are surrounded and you are protected. But as far as possible, I think with the video conferencing, virtual telemedicine and virtual consults, if you have that option, I think for time being, at least I would advocate that you should use it frequently, and that's the safer thing for you, your family, and especially for the senior family members.
Aarti Marwa Luthra is asking, why has Delhi government limited the COVID testing? Why can't we, the doctors, guide our politicians?
Very difficult, double-edged question. We all know that we don't agree with whatever government is saying about limitation. In fact, we should be testing more and more people. So that is the way to control the disease. Unfortunately, whatever may be the constraints, whatever may be their ideas of reducing the number of tests, we have seen every day things are changing. In a couple of days we said, do not check anybody who does not have. I don't think there is any dearth of the, the kits which are available for. So I think we should be more liberal. According to our thinking, and most of the medical fraternity thinks that way, people should be free to get investigations done. Like you get your sugar done. If you want COVID status, you should be, maybe a couple of months back, yes, I would have agreed with the government, because that time we had limited resources. We had a limited places where it can be done. But today, I think, they should liberalize it. More and more centers should come, of course, under direct supervision and with set protocols. But I think it should be encouraged. People should feel free to go to any lab and get themselves tested. We have enough material, enough resources.
That was the last question. We can wrap up.
Okay, so thank you very much. I'm sure there are a lot of things which must be coming to your mind. I will always be happy to answer you. I will try to come back again, maybe coming Saturday, with some viewpoints which are my viewpoints, my colleagues, my medical fraternities, what they think about it, and also will be included some observations which we keep on making every day and every moment when we come across our friends, societies, patients, and this way we can keep on educating ourselves and also updating ourselves with this serious problem of COVID infection. So stay safe, use the temporary vaccination, which is very effective till we wait for the true vaccination.
There's one more question from Vikas. He's saying, sir, we have N95 masks which provide 95% BFE. What is your opinion about a mask which provides 98%?
Well, I think we can go on because we can do better and better. But I'm sure those masks will be very good for medical professionals and the professionals who are paramedical staff who are dealing with the COVID patients. But my practical approach always will be to have a very good, and what should be disposable mask? First, it should have an inner layer, which is a different color, outer layer, which is either green or blue, and there should be a nose clip. And there should be a round sort of loop, which is more comfortable. So if you have these three things, then I think, according to me, is better way to protect yourself for a general population. And you should be very liberal in disposing them off. Even if you use 2-3 masks every day, it's not going to make big dent on your money and in the pocket. But I'm sure it will many times increase the possibility of not getting this infection, which is going to sort of be there in the society for a couple of months more.
I know we've wrapped up, but I think we can take one more question. If a senior citizen needs household help and can't manage work, should it not be allowed to test the workers who is joining them?
Of course, I think
This is from Payal Verma.
Yeah, but Payalji, I think everybody who is entering, if so, somebody with you for last 3 months is fine. But anybody who goes out, or if you are getting the new entrant or staff or your help, first, if it is, that's what I'm saying, it should be liberal testing. So we should be able to test them before they enter the place. And still, whenever they are entered, they should enter with the proper mask, hand hygiene, and other precautions. So they should be, whenever they are there in the house, when you are also there, also I think we should also use the mask ourselves, while the outside help is helping us at home. And especially they should not be allowed to interact with the small children and also with the senior family members.
Is there any provision to provide tests for workers?
At the moment, there is no. But I would definitely like that every worker and all of us, we should be free to go and get ourselves tested. I'm sure government possibly might come out with such suggestion if they agree to the medical community which has suggested them. Then, and I think the whole world is saying more and more investigation should be done. The more testing will tell us where we stand today, and we will be able to prevent the spread and able to take care of ourselves and the family.
Another question from Ms. Payal Verma. Do the non-symptomatic cases always get diagnosed via the test, or are there cases where non-symptomatic cases may not get positive results?
No, I think 70 to 78% of the persons who, whether they have positive or not positive, can be picked up by RT-PCR. This is what our experience shows. But certain things will pick up little later. Generally, 5th day onwards, the positivity chances increases. But there will be certainly those persons who have got a good immunity, so they get this infection, it is there, they don't get any symptoms, but they definitely spread, and those are the most dangerous persons because we don't know who is the person. So I think we have to consider ourselves as infected person and protect ourselves and also not spread the infection to others.
Okay. I think that is it.
All right. So thank you once again. Protect yourself with the temporary vaccination which we have, which is freely available. Take good care of your health and hand hygiene and protect your children and the elders. Thank you very much. We'll meet soon again next week.